No, I'm just saying, like, it's crazy. Like,
Well,
finally get to see Knicks basketball again tomorrow.
facts, bro.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Bladder, all my stress. Uh-huh.
Hey, what's going on? Quis here. This is the Knicks State of Mind podcast. I'm joined by my co-host, Inf. How's everything, Inf? You good?
Chilling.
All right. So in this podcast was going to be our first episode. We're going to be talking about some of the recent acquisitions from the Knicks this offseason, as well as we're going to have our college analyst, CJ, come on and join us a little bit later as well. So, Inf, I haven't really heard much from you when it comes to the moves the Knicks made. We haven't had time to talk about it. So how do you feel about some of these moves?
So I feel like we made some pretty smart moves. We made smart deals. I still
Mm-hmm.
like every signing that we did because we didn't pay out of pocket for anyone, really. We got pretty decent players. Obviously, we're not going to be like a playoff team or anything like that, but we'll at least be entertaining enough to watch. And we put some pieces to really help younger cast. So I'm a big fan of all the moves that we made.
Yeah, do you have
Kid Gilchrist.
also you like Kid Gilchrist? Because I don't even know if he'll be on the
Yeah,
roster. He might end up in the G League. Or if not cut.
he might. He might, but hopefully like that because I mean, his offensively he's not the best, but defensively he's pretty solid. So if
Mm-hmm.
he can actually help Kevin Knox, who's our only other legitimate small forward on our team,
Mm-hmm.
I think it could help. I also like the Alec Burks pickup, um, and Austin Rivers.
Yeah, I like
Austin
Austin
Rivers
Rivers.
offensively, like
Yeah, I wish we picked up a better facilitator, but you can't knock every hit out the ballpark, as they
yep,
say. So it's gonna take some baby steps. The only thing is they really haven't brought in, like I said, that point guard that's gonna help some of these younger guys develop. That's the only issue I've had so far with the offseason. Outside of that, I
yeah.
liked a lot of the moves. They bringing in a lot of young players. Did you see the recent pickup for Scal Labissiere, or however you say his name?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know anything about him though.
He's a pretty good player. He's a former Kentucky Wildcat as well. He's coming in. He's a big that has the ability to shoot, and he also has some offensive array of moves. He has raw talent. He's just going to need the structure, and he's going to need the coaching staff that's going to be behind him and kind of give him the proper tutelage to become a better player, pretty much. But I like him. They also brought in Young, who used to play for the Celtics. He's more so of a draft bust. He sat on the end of the bench for a while in Boston until they started bringing in, the Tatums and the Jaylen Browns of the world, and then they moved on from him.
I don't see him on our roster right now.
He,
Like I have our full
uh,
roster
he's an
pulled up.
he's an Exhibit 10 contract, so he's kind of over that 20 threshold. So you may not see him online. Also, did you hear that they cut Jacob? What was it? Jacob Evans, the guard that we got in that trade for when we ended up getting what's the Spellman?
Oh wow.
Yeah, remember? They ended up cutting him. I mean, it was expected. A lot of people were saying. I think Mark Berman from the Post was saying it's expected for him to be cut because we have too many players on the roster right now. We got to trim it down to 15. Not
Well,
including
yeah,
the
of
the,
course.
the two ways. Yeah.
I hope they don't cut Miles Powell.
Nah, I highly doubt they'll cut Miles Powell. Do you think he'll make the actual team, or you think he'll start in the G League?
I think he's probably going to start in the G League.
Yeah,
I mean, just because even though we don't have any good guards, we do have guards. Like we
we
have a
have
couple of
we
guards.
have a lot of guards.
Yeah, like everybody's like, oh, the Knicks need guards. I mean, we need good guards. We don't need guards. We have a ton of them.
We need legitimate point guards. We need a floor general. People should specify it and say we need a floor
Yeah,
general.
someone who can come in and make a difference. I mean, you know what? With the way that free agency is going to look next season, I mean, as far as point guards go, I'm not too concerned. It's like all the big name point guards are pretty much going to be free agents next season.
Yeah, you know any off the top of your head?
John Wall,
Well,
Westbrook,
no.
technically Curry if he were
Well,
if
Wall
he
and
were to
Westbrook
opt out.
got, I think, Wall and Westbrook, I think, have 2 more on their year on their contract.
No,
That's
they
why I didn't
can
want to
opt
trade for
out.
him. Yeah, but they're not gonna
No,
opt out. They
well,
ain't
they
nobody
might not.
paying John
They
Wall
might.
off his Achilles tear. Who else you said? You said John Wall. What was the other name you mentioned?
Westbrook, there's
Yeah,
Curry, Chris
Westbrook
Paul.
probably is not gonna opt out. Chris Paul, well, it depends. I would rather get like a solid, small forward to pair next to RJ next offseason if we could find one, and then maybe draft the point guard.
It's just, you know how the Knicks are when it comes to drafting point guards. Like,
Yeah.
it don't work out. I mean, there's also Kemba, technically, Drew
Yeah,
Holiday.
Kimba's my guy, but I
Like,
don't like that contract. I'm happy he got his money, but I'd rather my team not
no,
pay him.
just imagine if Jordan would have actually paid him. Like, that contract would have been atrocious.
Yeah. Yeah, because he would have got the
That would have been
Supermax.
what, 221 mil, yeah. And instead he got
Yeah.
like 141.
I mean, that's still bonkers money, but
But it ain't no 221 though.
that's
You still got Levine, you got Rozier. Like there's
Scary
decent
Terry.
Marcus Smart, like yeah.
But
Like
all
Spencer Dinwiddie.
Dinwiddie. Now with Dinwiddie, is he a player option or is he just legit free agent?
Unrestricted free agent.
Oh, so okay. So Dinwiddie would be available. That's somebody we could potentially target.
Yeah. No, yeah. So there's decent chance out there. I mean, you still got people like George Hill, also unrestricted free agent next season. I'm not gonna mention him.
George Hill's kind of similar, I would think, to I would like George Hill as a backup point guard. I don't know if I want him starting per se, but if we were able to bring him in, maybe draft a point guard, have him learn from George Hill a little bit, because George Hill seems like a pretty good professional. So to have him in the locker room, I think would be a good presence.
Yeah, and when he was a starter, he was a decent floor general for the Pacers.
For the Pacers,
like,
yeah.
He did what he had to do. He made Paul George look good, and we all know that he's very not good.
Paul George be tripping. I don't know what's up with that guy. God bless him.
He just be chatting. Like, I hate it. I hate when he speak now. It's just like, yo, come on. Like, just say that you were dirt and get on with it. Like, it's the excuses for me.
Yeah. But how are you feeling? So we didn't talk about we talked briefly about the draft during the live, but how did you feel about what the Knicks did?
I mean, like, the fact that we get Obi Toppin, I was fine with any other move that they decided to make. I'm like, we got lucky finally where that never happened. So I'll take this win. You can mess up any other draft pick you want. Like, that's fine, but I'll take this win. But we didn't mess up the draft pick because we got Immanuel Quickley, who I think is actually he's gonna be a really good shooter. Like, I'm hoping he could be like we had Steve Novak that one season where it looked like he didn't miss,
You think he'll end up as a starter?
No.
At any point in his career, or just not this season?
Not this season, probably not even next season. I feel like he could become a starter if he gets better defensively. If he actually starts working out with Frank Ntilikina and learns how he plays defense as a guard. I feel like defense is probably going to be the one issue that we have with him. So I don't see him being a starter unless he can get over that.
I would hope he could potentially develop into a facilitator, because when CJ comes on, he'll tell us a little bit more about Quickley. But I heard he was a top, recruited point guard coming into college. So if he can somehow capture some of that magic that the scouts saw, when they were looking after him or trying to bring him into collegiate play, then if he can bring that to the Knicks, I think we might have found a steal in the draft. But we'll see. I know some people were kind of saying he was like a reach or whatnot, but it'll depend. I like what we did in the draft. I don't watch as much college basketball, so that's why I want to have CJ come on, try to break down some of their games. But from what I'm reading and from what I'm seeing, I like a lot with not only the guards, but also with Obi, the fact that he was the player the Knicks had targeted, and he was, he was already sitting there at 8 for us to just pick him up quick and easy. So the fact that we were able to do that was perfect.
No, absolutely. Still, I'm telling you, like I hope he's gonna be a starter, but Julius Randle on our roster, I don't see that happening.
Man.
CJ just pulled up. Give me what's up.